Los Angeles Rams. Quentin Lake is here on the program. Good to see you, sir. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing well.
By the way, not many guests applaud for themselves.
I had to,
There is no I in Lake. It's very interesting.
Got to do it.
Good to see you, man. How are you?
Good to see you, too. I'm a big fan.
Oh, appreciate that.
Big, huge fan.
All right. I appreciate you saying that.
494?
In terms of
594.
Oh,
594 is his career best.
Yes, 594 is my career best 40. 494 is what I wish I would have as an Uber rating. you know what I mean?
There is some good perks if you do have a high Uber rating.
Is that right?
Yeah, you do.
What is it? What are your perks?
You get faster cars, better drivers that actually come.
What do you mean?
If you have
cars come faster?
If you have a good Uber rating, so like imagine this, like if, for example, I think my Uber rating is 492. Ooh, so I get really good drivers every time I'm driving around. You get drivers that are 5-star rated. Right. They have the gum in the car. They have the water. They have tissues. They have a charger on deck. All that stuff.
So if I get in a car and there's crumbs on the floor, it's my fault. It's my Uber rating or something like that.
It might be. Yeah.
I don't know what hold on a minute. Let me.
It just depends on, you know how they do it, the different tiers and stuff.
Well, I agree with that.
Yeah,
because you don't want to pick up someone with a 4.
You see what
I
can't believe it. What is it? My rating is not improved at all.
You're still 454?
Oh no, I'm better than that.
Oh, what do you know?
What's that? That's what I said.
You must have had a moment. There must have been a moment. You must have had a bad ride one night.
Quentin, he blamed his wife.
I never did. I said it was somebody I might have been riding with.
You did
That'll do it.
She didn't refute it either.
Well, she gets in, and sometimes, there's cologne or whatever, she'll get in, she'll go, poof.
Susie's
not going to hold down the windows.
She's not going to hold back.
And it's on my account.
It's on
so
your
what
record.
else am I going to do? It's 463.
Dang.
493. I'm still there.
That's good.
I can't believe that. Back on the Rich Eisen Show here with on the Rich Eisen Show Radio Network. I'm sitting at the Rich Eisen Show desk furnished by Grainger with professional-grade products for every industry. Grainger has you covered. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Talking Uber ratings right now with Los Angeles Rams, Quentin Lake. Yes, I have a 463, but this guy, Mike Del Tufo, tell him what you say I should do to up my Uber rating.
Front with
he
the
rides
driver,
up front.
if I can. And I tip.
You ride up front? You're kind of crazy. Riding up front is like that. You don't do that. So you must have conversation the whole time.
No, Quentin, I bond with the driver, and they like me, and they give me.
Mike's a talk. It's interesting for a man who does audio. He's a talker. That guy over there.
Yeah,
but I mean, honestly, like, could you imagine you're driving an Uber and all of a sudden some guy from Jersey sits in the front seat and starts chatting you up?
Yeah, that would make me nervous if I was a driver. I'd be like, whoa.
Yeah. And he says that's why he gets 5 stars.
Are you still a 5, Mike?
No, 493.
Something happened.
493.
It was that one driver that didn't like you sitting up in the front.
But at what point do the lower? Because at least if you play golf, right, your bad scores at some point get cycled off,
out,
right?
Yep,
at what point does my whatever's sucking me down?
Start a new account.
We see about that.
Create a new identity.
That's the only way.
Wow, start from scratch. Yeah.
Start over.
I hadn't even thought about that.
I don't know.
I didn't know why.
We just thought of it.
I could think of a reset button. What do you think?
You get 5 stars every time?
Of course. I'm a good guy. I don't.
Sometimes I forget. I think that's why my rating got bumped down.
I keep telling the drivers, hey, 5 stars. 5 stars, 5 stars.
Do you really?
I'll give you 5 stars.
It's like good.
Yeah, you're good. Good. It's like a good.
Yeah, it's like
it's inside the handle.
Yeah, good.
Go, take it. Yeah. No?
I get it.
Okay. I get it. All right, let's talk about you now. Sorry.
That was fun.
Okay. Oh my gosh. So, how are things in Rams country right now?
Doing well. It's always good to come back from Maui.
How was that? The Maui camp, right?
Yeah, that was fantastic. We were out there for 3 days. It was a great time. Really, more so a team bonding experience. That was the biggest thing for us. Is we were able to really see a different perspective from a player side. Like, different position groups were hanging out with each other. There was one day, it was 30 of us in the ocean boogie boarding. So it was fun. It was fun. Went out there, got to interact with the fans and the people of Maui.
Yes.
Obviously, the main thing was to show support for the people that were affected by the fires out there in Lahaina. So overall, great trip. I hope we do it again. I really do, because it was just good from an overall business, team, staff, all that stuff. It was great.
Who were you surprised the most when he grabbed a boogie board and joined the group?
I wasn't really surprised by anybody, but there were a couple of defensive linemen that were out there, moving around and doing good stuff.
How does one boogie board support a defensive lineman? What's the science behind that?
The ocean is a crazy place.
Okay.
And sometimes those guys have more body fat on them, so they're buoyant. And they're able to float onto the surface. So I think that's the biggest thing is, if you got a little bit more fat on your body, it's kind of easy.
Okay.
You don't sink.
So Stafford wasn't boogie boarding?
No, he wasn't out there with us. He was probably golfing.
Okay. Yeah. Is he the best? Is he the best golfer on the team? I just saw Davante Adams up at the American Century Championship.
Yeah, I did see that. I would say there's actually 2 guys that I've heard, or 3 guys.
Yes.
Stafford.
Yes.
Davante.
Yes.
And Britton Covey.
Who
we just recently got from the Eagles. They say he is really good.
Okay. Yeah. And that I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
How has Davante Adams already fit in or brought? How is it different with him around?
You see all the clips all the time of him talking about he's rejuvenated. He loves it here. The atmosphere is really well. But that's everything that we kind of portray within our culture. I mean, if you come to the Rams, you get it. It's really a different feeling. It feels like a family. It really does. Not only do we have the ability to, work hard, but it's, we're able to, have fun outside. And that's one of the reasons why we were able to handle our business in Maui. Davante, it's really been, to me, shocking to see how quick twitch and all that stuff is on the field. And not only that is, he's a great player on the field, but I really, I'm starting to see what he's like off the field. He's funny. He gets it. He's still got that young energy in him. So seeing all that stuff and as a teammate and seeing him as a father, I'm excited to get on the field with
That's
him
cool.
and really go against him in camp, too.
First of all, I thought it's called Ramley, isn't it? Is that what it is?
Ramley, Rams House.
Okay.
Those are the 2 big names.
Yeah, no, I know the answer to the questions as to whose house it is. That one, pretty much. But, obviously he's there now adding more of a veteran presence, as if, Stafford and he are going to just be on the same page in a way that, clearly he and Kupp were on the same page for some time with Puka as well. I mean, you go against this tandem in practice, best receiving tandem in the National Football League.
I think it's up there. I truly believe so because you have 2 receivers that give you, big differences. Puka's young. He got a lot of energy and he's strong. People don't understand. Puka, pound for pound, is probably one of the strongest receivers in the NFL. He's faster than you think. He's stronger than you think, and he has really good feet. And obviously, he has really good hands. There was one catch last year when we played the Bills, and he toe tapped it on the sideline. I said that was one of the craziest catches I've ever seen. And then you have Davante, who hasn't lost a step. People talk about when you get over the age.
By the way,
yeah, exactly. This clip right here, I said there's no way, and he had maybe a yard of space, and I said that might be, other than, and I know you talked about it, Garrett Wilson's catch, but that might have been catch of the year too because of the ball positioning, how much space he had to the sideline. I mean, absolutely incredible. So. And then moving on to Davante, you have a guy who hasn't lost a step, is super athletic. I saw how high he jumped to get a ball in practice. I said he could do a windmill dunk if he wanted to, and he does it all the time in the celebration. So these are guys that not only have perfected their craft. Obviously, Puka's still learning, but it is a force to be reckoned with.
Quentin Lake of the Rams here on the Rich Eisen Show. We had Teron Armstead on this program a couple weeks ago, and he essentially said, I'm paraphrasing here, that he, one of the guys who helped retire him was Jared Verse.
Yeah, I get it. I would probably retire too if I went against him. I'm so serious. Oh my God, I have so many stories about him too.
Please.
He just doesn't stop talking. There's people you meet that are talkers, and they talk all the time. And Verse, don't come at me. I'm gonna hype you up, but. He will not. It doesn't matter what it is. He will not stop talking, and it shows on the field too. He's an incredible athlete, a guy who loves the game, and more so, people talk about his power, but he is strong as an ox. He really is. And when I saw the clip when Teron came on here and said that, I said, I get it. There's probably a lot of other guys in the league that want to consider retirement after going against him.
Yeah, he said the hands were heavy and the moves were quick. Yeah. And, I did hear, and Jared, when he was here, did confirm, because I called your game against the Cardinals on NFL Network last year, the story that Sean McVay in one of the first practices with Verse had to go up to him and say, we do not say what's coming out of your mouth here to your teammates in places like our practices. Like, we don't do this here. Were you on the field when he delivered that
I was on
message?
the field, and he came back in the team meeting room and called him out again.
What do you mean?
So it was, he addressed him on the field, and then we come back. We watch practice, and we get an understanding of kind of the do's and don'ts of practice, how to be a professional. And he mentioned what happened on the field with Jared again, Coach McVay did, and he said, I get where you're coming from in the sense that you want to have the tenacity, you want to have that fire, but at the same time, you have to realize that these are guys that are on our team. These are guys that you might think like it's a battle, it's ones versus ones, but at the same time, we're all trying to get better at the same time. You don't need to downplay a guy, you don't need to be demeaning. So, and he talked about it too. That was his welcome to the NFL moment. But, I love it, especially when he does it. When I saw when he did it in games against other people, we had a mic'd up when he went against the Vikings. It was nonstop. I was there. I was like, and I was the green dot. I was like, man, I can't even get the call out because he won't stop talking. But it's going to be even worse now. You have the success that you did, and people say, can you walk the walk? He's talking. In his play, match up. There's no like he's talking and he doesn't do it on the field. Everything he says, whether it's good, vulgar, anything he says, he backs it up. Was there one particular player on the other team where you couldn't believe he was talking smack to, and you're like, damn? Anything like that last year? It doesn't matter. He'll walk by somebody, he'll walk by a kicker, he'll walk by a punter, he'll walk by O lineman, D lineman. It doesn't matter. Anybody that crosses his field of view, he's talking. I think the biggest thing is he loves talking to offensive linemen because it's a mind game. If you think about it, it really is though. In the NFL, it's a mind game. So with each and every time, like I walk past him, he's always talking to an offensive lineman.
Carnell Lake's son, Quentin Lake, is here on the Rich Eisen Show. So what's your first football memory?
My first football in the NFL?
No, just because, again, your dad was playing in the league. Your first football memory.
You know what? And I'll actually talk about something, and this was when I really understood why my dad didn't want to coach me. This is the thing I remember since we talked a little bit about my dad. I was having a tough game in Pop Warner. And I was needing some critique, some advice. And the game was over. I walked over to the fence. I walked over to my dad, and he was giving me advice. I was kind of in my mind. I was like, "Why don't you coach me? Why don't you come out here and be one of the coaches for my Pop Warner team? You have the tools. You played in the league for 13 years. You have all the resources." And in that moment, I didn't understand why until I got to baseball. And in baseball, there was a lot of daddy ball, which I didn't like. That's one of the reasons why I quit baseball. And in that moment, I understood I would never want to be put in a position or put on a hierarchy because of who my dad was. So in that moment, I really realized, and I'm grateful to this day that, he wasn't, he wasn't coaching me as like hey, I'm the head coach, or I'm doing daddy ball, because it kind of allowed me to form my own path. And that's a great picture right there. Swag's a little bit different back in the 80s and the 90s, but I'm very grateful for that, because now that I realize it, it kind of allowed me to form my own path, find my own love for the game, but also realize that I can be who I want to while still having this amazing figure in my life. Yeah,
Rod Woodson, who I work with for so many years, always spoke glowingly of your father and being a teammate, and and Rod is an OG, as you know. So let's talk about you. What are your goals?
My goals for this year
in general. I know that's a big macro question here.
It's a great question, but I'll answer it in the most simple way.
Sure.
I think at the end of the day, the biggest thing I want to do this year, and the biggest thing I want to be as a man is be reliable. You know, and reliability spreads throughout so many things. You know, reliability is, you know, it's receiving respect. It's being accountable. It's being in the right place at the right time. And really for my teammates, for my family, for, you know, people such as yourself is, you know, I want to be somebody that when they look at me and when they say my name, they say, man, Quentin Lake is reliable. Yeah.
So just in general, that's it. Reliable is the word that you want to be.
I just want to, I want to be known as a reliable person.
Can you win the Super Bowl this year?
For sure, 100%. No doubt about it. You look at our team from top to bottom. You look at what we did last year when nobody thought we were going to get to that point. And really nobody thought we were going to put up a test against the, you know, Super Bowl winners. Mm-hmm. We stay healthy. We do what we need to do. You know, we'll be right in the mix.
Did you think at some point Donald was going to walk through the door at some point last year? Did that ever?
Aaron Donald?
Yes, sir. That one. That guy.
No.
That never crossed your mind?
Because I thought.
I was thinking that.
So his retirement was. No.
He was done.
When he said he was done, he was done. And then you see him, you know, living the life outside of football.
Okay.
He's good.
Have you worked out with him?
Never. Probably won't ever. I don't want that. This is the thing. If I'll never back down from a challenge.
Okay.
But you know, we talked about Jared. He did it, and you know, shout out to him for getting it through. But you know, we're a little like. I would hope if we did do a workout, and Aaron, if you want to do a workout, I'll be more than glad to do it. But our weight has to kind of, you know, equal out. You know,
it's like a golf handicap.
Yeah, like a golf handicap. You said on an interview you lifted 500 pounds, right? I have never squatted or benched 500 pounds. You know, so you know if the weight kind of equals out, I'll be more than glad. Invite me over. I'll get through that workout.
Oh my gosh.
No problem.
TJ, what did you say back in the day in Pittsburgh? What were you saying?
Yeah, so in the I'd say the mid '90s, Rod Woodson in Pittsburgh at Station Square, he had his own sports bar. Woodson's was the spot. And one day I was there. I went there a lot, and they had a few arcade games, and I actually ended up playing NBA Jam against your dad.
Wow.
Is that right? You versus Carnell Lake in Woodson's place.
Woodson's,
and that was Rod Woodson's bar?
Yeah, he had a bar, like I said, right down the Station Square. You know the incline in Pittsburgh that you always see any Pittsburgh shot, you'll see an incline coming down. It was at the bottom of the incline.
Okay.
Is where then it turned into a Hooters. Or it was a Hooters before, one or the other, I can't remember. But and now it's gone.
By the way, first time that Rod Woodson and the word Hooters has ever been in the same sentence. So who won?
I mean, I won. I was
so
really
you have a one up on him.
I do.
You do. Yeah. I couldn't even imagine owning a bar out here in LA as a football player.
Oh my gosh, right? That's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's back in the day when people used to have restaurants and bars when they used to play. This has been a pleasure to chat with you.
Yes.
Anytime you want to come on, I mean, I'm happy to have you.
That'd be great.
For sure, you know, because
so I get my Uber rating up coming over here.
Yes. Please do that and tell the driver, you know, I might be calling for him and pop my rating a little bit here. Awesome. Come on, let's help each other out. Help each other. I mean, let's see. We'll play zone. You know.
No man.
No. Cover two. You're going to cover me. You know, or cover 463. Yeah. Damn it! What the hell's going on here? I'm gonna have to start from scratch. Okay, very good. I shouldn't say that publicly, should I?
It's fine.
Quentin Lake, what a pleasure to meet you. Please consider this your home whenever you want to come here. I'd love to have you.
Thank you so much.
You got a Quentin Lake, everybody. Are you on Instagram or something like that? Or
yeah, Instagram, Twitter.
What is it? What's
Instagram Q Lake with 2 E's.
Okay, what is it?
Q Lake
with 2 E's.
With 2 E's at the end.
Why is it 2 E's?
Couldn't get just Q Lake. I wanted Q, but somebody took that, and then I wanted GQ.
Oh,
because I was thinking about starting my modeling career, but you know,
I imagine at GQ is taken by the actual.
Yeah, I should DM him and say, hey, can I get this?
Yeah,
you know, maybe
you should hit up the Q Lake guy and see if you can get that.
Yeah,
one.
I know.
I actually like it. You know, it gives it a little bit of a twist, just having 2 E's at the end.
Q Lakey.
Q Lakey.
Okay. Okay, Q Lakey, thank you for being on this program. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.